All right, I'm laying here under my truck because it didn't want to start. The starter was clicking sometimes, and I was gonna pull the solenoid to put in the rebuild kit from Geno's, but I'll show you what is going on here. Kind of typical Dodge Cummins problems. The bolt right here was in one thread, so I just reached up and pulled it out, and then I'm going to disconnect the main power wire, and I think the reason my starter ain't firing sometimes is it's not fucking grounded because it's about to fall off. And I've had this happen to my first gen once where the starter came off. Just how much these engines and trucks vibrate going down the road. You constantly have to check shit, make sure it's tight. And I guess while you're down here, there's the sweet new coolers I put on the NV4500. I never had a temperature gauge on the transmission before, so I still haven't put one on now, but it's kind of a moot point since I don't know what temp the trans was running at in the first place. But they're supposed to be pretty effective from what other people have said about them. Holds an extra quart of oil and a bunch of internal fins, transfer heat to the external. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today, dealing with Dodge problems. I think I'm still gonna put the solenoid rebuild kit in just because I fucking bought it and it's gonna wear out eventually anyway. And as a bonus, the starter's already almost off. So, and there's my helper. Okay, here's that starter out and cleaned up a little bit. And you want to take off this wire in those 3 screws or bolts, depending on if you're using a wrench or a screwdriver, and pull off the solenoid cover, and then I'll show you what's going on in there. And right here is the parts kit from Geno's. It's the plunger and the 2 contacts, and that leg of the 1 contact is what you're seeing under that bolt. So here it is with the back cover off. And if you, it's so hard to do stuff one-handed, but if you move the wire out of the way, pull this plunger out, it's got that spring that goes on the end, and there's a little detent ball down in the bottom in that hole. And then what makes your truck click are these contacts here. You can see how dirty it is, but there's a big shelf worn in it too on that side. And you just take those nuts off. They're 17 millimeter. All the little screws were 8, and the Allens that hold it to the truck are 8 millimeter too. And the outer bolt on the positive was 15, or outer nut that went on there. But the under ones that actually hold the contacts in are 17. So I'm going to take those 2 copper bolts out that hold the contacts in and put the new contacts on. So that's the old contact, and you can see how deep the groove's worn in it, the little shelf. And that's when you start losing contact. I'll try to get it perched on here. And you can see how much of a difference there is between that knife edge. And so you just take those 2 nuts off, and they pop out with the copper studs. There's some O-rings and little shit. Just make sure it all goes back on the same, and it'll be good. Okay, there's the shiny new contacts installed. You can see the ball down in there if it'll focus. It's a little detent ball. And then here's the new plunger. And kind of hard to do one-handed. Get that spring on the plunger and feed it down into that hole. And that's the new plunger, and then I just gotta throw the cover back on and reinstall it. And it's good to go. All right, starter's reinstalled, all put back together. We'll see if it still clicks a bunch like a bad solenoid.
Pay attention.
Help if I hook up the battery first. So to be fair, I never claimed to be smart with the whole disconnected battery thing. But here we'll go, give it another try. So I do have the clutch adjusted to where you have to push it into the floor really hard to get it to start. I've thought about readjusting it, but I kind of like it like that because people try to move my truck and they're like, what the fuck, it won't start. So kind of look at it as a little bit of an anti-theft device too. But once I pushed the clutch in far enough, you didn't hear it solenoid clicking, so the new contacts fixed it. It's, I think, like 20-25 bucks from Geno's. It's not that bad, especially when you look at the price of a rebuilt starter for these trucks, or even fucking factory starters are almost 800 bucks, I think. Something ridiculous like that. And they start so quick. The starter is rarely the issue. It's usually those contacts in the solenoid. So that's it for the 02 Dodge Cummins Diesel starter solenoid rebuild.